So I've had someone recently ask me, where do I get all of my salvage material from? And honestly, it's all over the place. I get some from pallets, some from, as I mentioned in my videos, my old drop ceiling, construction material. I got a big pile, well, not big, but I got some pieces here from a recent job I was just working on. I was helping with a trailer mobile home kind of reno, and it was kind of a lot of stuff was left behind and just junk and garbage, and we just had to get a bin to throw everything away, kind of thing. But as we're dismantling and throwing stuff away, I grabbed pieces here and there. So I got, let's see here, what, one, two, three, four, I think four of these faces here that used to be drawer fronts. This is all oak, nice solid oak here. So I'm just going to do some processing on that. This here, I believe, is maple, which used to be also part of a different dresser than that one. And then there's some of these, and those are, I think, it almost looks like maple, but I think it's going to be birch. It's a bit lighter, and birch is a bit cheaper than maple, and just that particular dresser looked like a cheaper one, kind of thing. So my guess is this is probably birch versus maple, but this one is maple, and this is all oak. I've already done it on most of them, but I'm just going to kind of show you here. I got all these, there's a couple staples and whatnot in them, so I always like to pull those first, and let's see if I can't. And basically, I have these fancy pliers kind of thing, but you could use pretty much any pliers. And the tricky part on this one is that some of this, some of the old side pieces are in the way, but if you can get a grip on them, they come out pretty easy. So I'm just prying out those staples so that I don't run them through any of my tools, even though I'm going to be cutting here and they're not going to be in the way anyways. If I pull them this way, I can salvage them, and just I know it's not a lot, but I put it in with all my scrap. They'll get saved anyways, because pretty much all my offcuts I kind of burn or whatever, and then I can always collect the metal afterwards. But there you go, just a few staples, and then yeah, and that's, now this is all metal free. And then I'm just going to cut these on the miter saw, just to remove some of this stuff that is no good. And then some of these pieces I might rip on the table saw right away. Others I'll save just to see down the road. Maybe I need something wider, but like this here, I'll probably end up trimming this to get just this middle piece, because this gets pretty shallow and it's not very usable. And I'll probably still trim these and get the side pieces. But for now, I'm just going to kind of cut some of the ends off. And that's just here at the miter saw. So that's just kind of the general idea. Some of these I'll have to do on the table saw just because they're a bit bigger capacity than my miter saw can handle. So I'll just kind of run them through the table saw using the miter gauge, which I think is on the ground there. But as you can see there, just kind of cleaning up some of the stuff, starts making them kind of look a bit more usable. But that's going to be it for now. I'm just running out of film again. But yeah, this was all dressers and old furniture that would have been put into the landfill, and I saved some pieces. There was more that I was gonna try to save, but we also kind of have to work at a certain pace and not take up too much time. So some of it did get tossed, and if there wasn't as much of a deadline to get things done, I probably would have saved more pieces. But this is kind of a happy medium. There's some more pieces out in the yard still that I have to kind of figure out what to do with because they got some different shapes and some of it's cracked and whatnot. But yeah, that's just some salvaging of. Like I said, it was oak, I believe maple and birch, and they'll become various products and whatnot. The nice thing with a lot of these, they're pretty thick to start with. I think they're all probably, I'm guessing they're all probably about 3/4. Then these are a bit thinner, maybe 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8. Just rough estimate on those, but they'll make projects, and it's all salvaged and saved it from going to the landfill.